Hello and welcome to another Canadian channel feature. This channel is focused on strategy, entrepreneurship, and most importantly, tactics to become a successful manager. Today I'm going to be reviewing a very interesting book by James Clear called Atomic Habits. Now the reason I chose this book to read was clearly to strategize on my habit-making abilities. The intention was to build good habits and eradicate bad habits. This book achieved my goal and lived up to my expectation. If you've been following my channel, you already know I have high standards, especially when it comes to self-help content. I don't hold back if there's a book out there and the main purpose is to sell us their content. I'm really looking for the content to make our lives better, more energized, and be a transformational event. I really like the summation of this book on another website called 4-Minute Books. According to the website, there are 3 lessons to help you use everything the author has learned to break bad habits and form good ones. Number 1. Every time we perform a habit, we execute a 4-step pattern. Cue, craving, response, and then reward. Number 2. If you want to form a new habit, we should make them obvious, attractive, easy, and satisfying. Number 3. You can use your habit tracker as a fun way to measure your progress and make sure you don't fall off the wagon. If you're taking notes, then I highly encourage you to write the 3 things that the author mentioned. I'm going to expand on this further. Now let's look at point number 1 about cue, craving, response, and reward. When it comes to habits, James suggests that the environment is the invisible hand that shapes human behavior. That's why a prompt is always the first step in performing any habit. It may not always be external, but most of the time it will be. Then 3 more stages follow to complete the 4-step pattern. Cue. A piece of information that suggests there's a reward to be found, like the smell of a cookie or a dark room waiting to light up. Remember how Marlboro got famous in the early age? They always showed ads with horses and cowboys. People started associating Marlboro cigarettes with success, and that's how they were able to place a good cue to instigate the habit across the people. Craving. The motivation to change something to get the reward, like tasting the delicious cookie or being able to see it. Remember the satisfaction you get drinking Coca-Cola? Studies suggest that sugar craving is highly addictive, even much more addictive than potent drugs like heroin or cocaine. Response. Whatever thought or action you need to take to get the reward. Using the example of the Coke or Marlboro, it provides your brain caffeine and nicotine, and your brain associates this with the feelings that you desire. Reward. The satisfying feeling you get from the change, along with the lessons whether to do it again or not. There are several popular methodologies that try to predict how and why we do what we do, such as the Charles Duhigg habit loop, Gretchen Rubin's 4 tendencies, or BJ Fogg's tiny habit behavioral model. James offers a much more refined version of what Duhigg described in The Power of Habit, and while all of these approaches are different, none of them are mutually exclusive. James then derives 4 laws of behavior change, which corresponds to one part of the loop each. Here they are, along with some ideas for how you can use them to facilitate good behaviors and make bad ones harder. Number 1, make it obvious. Don't hide your fruits in the fridge, put them on the display front and center. Number 2, make it attractive. Start with the fruit you like the most, so you'll actually want to eat one when you see it. Make it easy. Don't create needless friction by focusing on fruits that are hard to peel. Bananas and apples are super easy to eat, for example. Make it satisfying. If you like the fruit you picked, you'll love eating it and feel healthier as a result. You can apply these to all kinds of good habits, like running, working on a side project, spending more time with family, and so on. Conversely, do the opposite for bad habits. Make them invisible, unattractive, difficult, and unsatisfying. For example, you could hide your cigarettes, add financial penalties, Get rid of all the lighters and only allow yourself to smoke outside in the cold. With a framework like this, making and breaking habits becomes fun. You'll likely want to tackle multiple things sooner than later, but it's important to not take on too much at once. An easy way of keeping yourself accountable without becoming overwhelmed is to track your habits with a habit tracker. The idea is simple. You keep a record of all the behaviors you want to establish or abandon. And at the end of each day, you mark which ones you succeeded with. The record can be a single piece of paper, a journal, a calendar, or a digital tool like an app. This strategy is based on what's sometimes called the Seinfeld productivity hack. Remember when comedian Jerry Seinfeld apparently marked his calendar with a big X every day he came up with a joke? Soon his goal was not to break the chain. It's a simple but effective strategy to help you build good habits. And since habits are the compound interest of self-improvement, that's a process we should all start today. When it comes to changing our behavior, we all need to find out what works for us. That said, there are several scientifically proven strategies we should all try first. Atomic Habits is a complete, fun, engaging, and simple to understand compounding of those strategies. I highly recommend you make it your first stop when you want to learn more about the science of habits. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Feel free to watch other sections of this channel where I discuss about other strategies and successful business people's life journeys. Remember, success leaves cues. Follow successful people, do what they did, and in turn, you'll be successful. This is Can Indian Channel signing off. Peace.